What's up, y'all? I'm finna tell you about my family's biggest scandal. So apparently my sister met this new boy, right? So she's been telling us about him. We were like, okay, well, just bring him to the house. So she ends up bringing him, and my mom sees this weird thing on his arm, and she started asking him questions like, who are you? Where are you from? And it turns out that that boy was a big secret that my mom didn't tell my sister. So the boy and my sister, going along, going together. My mom's acting really dangerous, telling my sister, don't go with him. Don't go with him. Leave him alone, baby. That's not the one for you. I just don't like him. But then the secret came out about who this guy was. So apparently what my mom saw was a birthmark. And my mom apparently had a secret baby that my dad did not know about. And she gave that baby up from adoption that had a cookie birthmark. And guess what type of birthmark my sister boyfriend had? Cookie birthmark. So, like for part 2, and I'll finish the rest of the story. Peace out, y'all. Part 2, how me and my sister found out that this guy was our brother, which was her boyfriend that she was about to get engaged to, and my mom knew about it because he had a birthmark of a cookie. And the crazy part is my sister named Cookie. So she actually named her after his birthmark. Here's the crazy part. We didn't know that was our brother until the night he came over our house for the second time. So James ended up getting into it with some guys or whatever. They followed him to our house. The first, second time I ever meet bro. The dude's up here making a lot of noise, rah-rah stuff. So we go outside. What's up, bro? Get out my yard. Get out my yard. James arguing one of the dudes. We get to fight. Like all us fighting out there. My dad comes. He pulls out a weapon. Says we all need to get out the yard. Then he ends up looking at James like, hey, bro, you need to leave too. James say, who you talking to? Next thing I know, we tell him to get off him. My dad's on top of him. My mom literally runs outside and says, stop, get off him. He says, give me one good reason why. She says that might be my son. Part 3's coming up. Y'all, so this is the night that me and my sister found out that her boyfriend was our brother. My mom literally ran outside and told my dad to get off the boy. He tells her, give me one good reason why. She says that might be my son. So, I'm almost throwing up because I've seen him and Cookie kiss. And I'm just like, oh my God. And my dad is like, what did you talk about? What did you talk about? What did you my dad turning up. My dad turning up. My sister is crying on the ground. James has not gotten up. James has not gotten up. All he can do is look at my sister. And we're all just freaking out. And my mom keeps saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And my next thing I do, my dad, he started shaking my mom. So I'm like, Dad, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. And it's just like a whole big, like, weird thing going on. And I'm just freaked out. Like for part 4, it's getting even better. What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for blowing that video up. But this is part 4. So this was the night that we found out that James was our brother. We literally just took the pic. But, yeah, so my mom ends up telling my dad that my sister's boyfriend is my brother. And she's been going with him. So we all have a family sit down. We get in the living room. My mom's still apologizing. And she finally tells us a story about what happened and stuff. And we're like in disbelief. But my parents asked my brother and sister a question. They end up asking them like, okay, so we know y'all were engaged and stuff. We know y'all were in the talking stages. But did anything happen? And here's a literal picture of our expressions, especially their 2 expressions, when my parents asked my brother and my sister, and we just found out he's my brother, by the way, have they done anything? And y'all would not believe what they told us. The next part is coming up in part 5. Part 5. So my parents just asked my brother and my sister, which, by the way, they were engaged. They did not know they were brother and sister because my mom kept the secret to herself because she was too embarrassed until it was too late. So basically, my dad asked, have y'all done anything? Here's their expressions. What they told us was, of course, we already knew the answer. Yes, they've done anything. Y'all, they were finna be married. James is like really deeply in love with my sister. So my mom was crying like, please, y'all don't do this. Please don't tell anyone. Please don't tell anyone. We can fix this. Y'all just have to stop going with each other. And like, and I looked at them. I said, wait, are y'all gonna stop going with each other? And Cookie, like, my sister's crying. And James, he reaches for her hand. And I'm like, should I support this? Should I not support this? And James is about to say something. He looks at my dad. He says, hey, he like calling all our attention. And we're going to find out what James said in part 6. Part 6. So we asked Cookie, did she do anything with my brother? So we didn't know, we didn't know that James was my brother until my mom told us. So James and Cookie were supposed to, be engaged and stuff. So James finally, tells everybody, he's like, hey, y'all, so listen, I need y'all to listen to me. Make sure y'all listening. So, y'all, me and Cookie got something we've been needing to tell y'all. So Cookie crying, like, sister, what's wrong? What's wrong? Y'all, it's not too late. Ain't nobody got to know about this. We can just keep this in the family. They said, nah. Cookie finally tries to talk, and then my dad is like, spit it out. What y'all got to tell me, boy? What y'all got to tell me? And James and Cookie are holding hands. I'm literally in between them. And Cookie says, I'm pregnant, Daddy. And James said, we having a baby. And my mom says, this can't be true. Part 7 is what's going to be their reactions. Hope y'all ready.
Shot like a player. I'm not your best.
Okay, so weird story. I just found out that my brother that I didn't know I had got my sister pregnant, which was her boyfriend that she didn't know was her brother. And now my parents are asking them, so you're pregnant. So basically, the next question was going to be, are y'all going to get rid of it? And they looking like, no, we're not going to get rid of it. And I'm like, wait. So, we all just sit here confused. And James like, no, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to man up and do what I got to do more than what y'all ever did for me. Because, James grew up in foster care. James basically told us while we were sitting up here being a family, see my family, he was going through it in foster care. Apparently, he went through some things. Some guys did some things to him that he had stress issues for. And he's trying to be a better father than what my dad was for him. But my dad like, hey, bro, I didn't know you existed. You can't put that on me. So they get into it like, no, bro. Because James never had no father figure, and the father figures he did have was horrible. Find out what happens next in part 8. And by the way, they got the fine. But I'm going to tell you how. Part 8.
Shot like a player. I'm not your best.
So, this was the last picture we took before my family was ruined. So now my dad is about to beat up my brother, which my mom had and did not tell him about, that was engaged to my sister. So my brother has just told us he's been in foster care his whole life. He's been abused, touched, all this stuff. And that's never okay. If this ever happened to you, you tell someone. But, so my dad is telling him, hey boy, you need to calm down. I'm your dad. And I didn't know that you was here. And my brother like, well, I'm going to be a better father than you is, because now my brother and my sister are having a baby. And my dad is literally like, boy, you better listen. My baby girl ain't finna have no baby. My baby girl got a future. She finna go to school. He said, so what about me? What about me? And then it's just real awkward, y'all. I'm just sitting here like, I don't know. But yeah, so James and my dad are literally fighting my mom and saying, please no, get off of him, get off of him, get off of him. Part 9 is coming. Thank y'all for all the support. So yeah, y'all. So now we're back to my dad fighting my brother that I didn't know I have, that was engaged to my sister, and this is a long story. But my mom kept the secret. So basically, yeah, my dad is fighting my brother now. They're fighting. I'm trying to pull them off. My mom trying to pull them off. Me and Cookie trying to pull them off. But my dad ends up like beating James up really, really bad because my dad was in the army. So I finally pull my dad out for James. I tell Cookie, just take him. Go. Just take him. My mom just literally looking like this. I'm like, Mom, what's that gonna do? So they run off. My dad's yelling at me, like, what's up with you? You let my baby go with that stranger? I said, Dad, that's your son. That's your son. My mom was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. And my dad turns around to my mom. He looks at her just like this. Y'all, I have never been so scared that my dad was about to hit my mom. And part 9 is coming up, or part 10. I'm losing the parts now, but y'all know what's coming up. Y'all, so right now my dad has just beat up my brother, who's engaged to my sister, but she didn't know that was her brother. Y'all know the story. But yeah, right now I'm trying to cool my dad off because my dad just literally turned around at my mom, who had the kid, and didn't tell him. And he's like, so you done had a child, and you done caused this mess. This is all your fault. And I'm like, Dad, calm down. You know how you get when you angry. And we all know how our dads get when they're angry. So I take it upon myself to come out with me, because my mom is literally crying, and she's not in the right state of mind to even defend herself or explain. So I take my dad out, but what my mom does next is unexplainable. So apparently I forgot why this was going on. My best friend was in the back room. He comes out, he asks my mom, is she okay? And she says no. Then one thing leads to the next. So this picture could kind of explain what my mom did. So y'all, part 11 gonna really let y'all know what happened next and how my family is officially over. Okay, so yeah, my best friend and my mom apparently did something behind my back. I forgot I left him there. I dropped my dad off, over his friend's house, so, he can cool off, whatever. He told me he wasn't going to say nothing. I called Cookie, I called James. They said they got a hotel, so, I'm trying to call the family to make sure everything right. But then I'm like, oh, snap, let me check on my mama. And then I started remembering, wait, my friend is there. So I was like, maybe he left. So I just go to the house, and I hear noises. And I walk in, and I see them. And this is what happened. So I tell my mom, I said, Mama, you wrong. You know, I already did so much and you gonna do this to me with my best friend. So I instantly start fighting. Like, I'm not even a fighter. I start beating him up. She slaps me in the face and I tell her she's wrong. And that's what she did this to me at. So I had to jump at me. And it's weird because you think your mom would be the person who's there for you. Yeah, I would never guess what she did next. Find out in part 12. 12. Baby girl, you trying to ask if my sister have approved of me talking about her going with my brother, which devastated our lives? Why don't you ask her for yourself? She right here, sweetie.
I mean, I didn't give him my permission, but isn't it like an unspoken rule to keep family business in the family?
You doing all that, but listen, I'm trying to get us rich, baby girl. So what if Tyler Perry picked this up? What if we get rich off of this? They liking the story. We might as well sell it to them.
When you say Tyler Perry, that's a little bit of a different story.
It is.
But you're using our family business to get rich and famous?
I mean, yeah, but girl. One more question so they'll get a little bit of tea out of this. So did you end up staying with James?
You have to wait till the next episode to see that.
Like a player. I'm not your best.
Hey y'all, so update. So this was when my mom was about to hit me because I caught her with my best friend. Basically I told her about herself and I caught her some words that I still don't regret and I still mean them. But so I end up, I end up catching her and all that type of stuff. And my bad, I can't even talk right now. But I ended up catching her and she ended up cussing me out all this stuff and telling me to get out. After I caught her with my best friend. So I ended up calling Cookie and I call her and say, hey, I'm on the way there. I just got Mama with my best friend. And Cookie's crying and she tells me that James has left her. And I said, James left you, but ain't you pregnant, Cookie? So basically James said that as soon as he came, that's when bad stuff started happening. So he said it felt best for him to leave her. But I was like, but you pregnant with our brother's baby. And guess what Cookie told me that she decided to do? Wait till part 12 to find out.